Welcome everybody to Reactivating Your Health in Your 40s and Beyond. My name is Bernie Schneck and I'm the facilitator of this discussion today. And why are we doing this? Because I've got burning questions that I myself would like to have answered, and I'm sure that it affects so many other people out there. So I hope this will be helpful to whoever needs to hear this today. So with me, firstly, we are going to talk about alleviating pain and inflammation in our bodies. What's the cause of it and what can we do about it? So I have got a wonderful young blonde bombshell here with us today. Her name is Marna Malan, and she is going to help us answer these questions. Marna is a registered nurse, and she is a mother of 3 wonderful children, and she's a daughter and also my friend. So welcome, Marna.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here today.
No worries. So Marna, I'm going to jump straight into it today and ask you, what is inflammation in our bodies and what causes it?
Yeah, sure. I think in recent years, we've come to associate inflammation with everything that's bad. But I work in orthopedic and surgical wards in the hospital. And as you might know, inflammation isn't actually always a bad thing. So when we have an acute inflammation, so when you've perhaps had an injury or when you're fighting a disease, then inflammation is actually a fantastic thing. So it basically just means your body is reacting to either an injury or to, external factors, so either toxins or pollens or foreign bodies that's entering your body. And that's your immune system being activated. So on the outside, you can see, it might have an area that's a bit swollen or red. And that's just to show that your immune system is reacting appropriately. The problem with inflammation, and that's where we all become a bit wary, is that inflammation can become this chronic state. So that's the state where your body is fighting something, but it doesn't actually know what it is. So it can't really identify it. We find it a lot in autoimmune diseases as well, when the body is in this inflammatory state all the time. And there are risk factors and things we can do to eliminate that. And obviously we can help on this process by the things that we're doing wrong. So it's important to know that inflammation in a chronic, continuous state is not fantastic for our bodies. So that's pretty much the difference. So there you go.
So now, how do you know if you've got chronic inflammation?
Yeah, so there are a few, kind of guidelines or a few symptoms or things that you experience that might give you a bit of a hint. Of course, when you have a full-blown infection, or when your doctor needs to test you for something like, arthritis or something like that, where you've got this chronic inflammation, there's a blood test that they can do. It's called a CRP test. But really, you want to stop it before it gets to that point. So some indicators can be actually eczema and psoriasis. So that's kind of an external showing that there's something going on internally in your body. It can also be increased blood sugar levels. So we know that when we eat a lot of sugar, that increases our blood sugar levels, and they can be an indicator of inflammation in the body. And then, of course, we've got digestive problems. So if we've got an inflamed gut, we're going to experience those symptoms of, bloating, some digestive discomfort, maybe achiness, diarrhea, constipation. So any of those can really be those indicators. So those are not normal, even though we sometimes pay them off as normal. It is not normal to experience those symptoms. And then, of course, gum disease. Sometimes if you've got inflamed gums, that can be a factor. So that's a sign externally that there's inflammation in your body. And of course, some people experience actually like a achiness or a soreness in their body. And that's not a good sign. So those are just little symptoms. And of course, being very lethargic, so being really tired, because it means your body is fighting all these extra stresses in your body and in the environment that it's exposed to, and then you've got no energy left at the end of the day. So those are a few things that people can look out for.
All right. No, thank you very much. With you talking like that, I must say, I was thinking the feeling lethargic. So can people get confused with it? And I'm throwing a curveball at you, but could they get confused between foggy brain or inflammation actually?
Yeah, potentially so. Yeah, so when we are not thinking clearly and really feeling very tired, those two symptoms, can be very much linked one with the other. So, both, it can go both ways. And when we've got increased oxidative stress levels, of course, that will also give you a foggy brain. You won't be able to think clearly. And just stress under normal circumstances will make those worse. So yeah, definitely, for sure.
Absolutely. So what can we do about it?
Yeah, well, of course, we always want to go the natural way, don't we? We just want to, we're already struggling with one problem, and really by trying to solve it in a chemical way, we're just going to make the process worse. So the best natural ways to combat inflammation, of course, chronic inflammation, is to calm down that immune system that is so hyper and fighting something in the body. So we want to follow a diet which is not a stressor on the gut. We want to include good oils like nuts and seeds, good omegas as well, like really nice fatty fish. We want to include that a few times, like salmon or tuna or mackerel. We want to include those in the diet. And just a good, like a Mediterranean diet, lots of veggies, lots of fruits like strawberries and blueberries. Those are really good, and especially tomatoes, for some reason, is really good for inflammation in the body. So those are the things that you can include in your diet. But then, of course, the things that you really have to eliminate are, those really refined products. So refined processed foods, we know they are not good for us, but clearly you want to, if you're experiencing any problems, of course you want to concentrate really hard to remove those from your diet. And then, of course, foods that have high sugar content. So we don't want to have those elevated blood glucose levels, because they create inflammation in the body. So those are really important. So just a few basics, if you want more detail, you can read a little bit up more on diet in the body. You want to increase your antioxidant intake as well, really important, but you're doing that with fruit and veggies. A good way to increase your antioxidant intake is with increasing your glutathione levels. So glutathione is the mother of all antioxidants. And so you want to make sure that you boost your body in that regard. Glutathione is also very good at eliminating toxins, because if you have toxins that your body is being exposed to, your body is trying to eliminate those. And if it doesn't have a process that helps the body to do that, that causes and creates extra inflammation. So glutathione is really amazing. So a fantastic way to do that is by increasing and activating your NRF2 pathways. So glutathione is a big one. And then, of course, we want to have good sleep. I want to make sure that we get good quality sleep and rest. We want to de-stress from our day. So making sure that in your day, you've got moments where you turn off your phone, where you go for a walk. Exercise is so important to de-stress and just to take some time out, but a reminder that it needs to be moderate exercise. So not, you know, an hour, hour and a half a day, you know, strenuous exercise, because actually that will give you more oxidative stress and will actually increase your inflammation in your body. So you want half an hour a day, moderate exercise that just stimulates blood flow and help your body to detox. So those would be, I think, the top things.
Wonderful, thank you. So in other words, eat right and move more. Bottom up. Absolutely. And who would have thought it's actually, well, we say that's simple, but for some people it could be quite a challenge to actually achieve that in today's time and age. I mean, it's a rat race out there, and a stressful rat race at that. So my last question to you is, I thought we will just bring it down to a real problem that I think so many of us have, and that is back pain, back inflammation. So what are the different ways we can help our bodies heal the most natural way regards to backache?
Yeah, so I think the problem is with chronic back pain is that it might have been an old injury that you've had and might have not actually recovered appropriately, and now your body has this chronic response and it's causing you some back pain. So the problem is you already have an area which is slightly weaker in your body, and it's your body's way of showing that you're doing something wrong. So we find that sitting behind our desks are really bad, of course, for lower back pain, and because we're not moving often enough. So it's important to make sure that if you have a job with, you know, where you need to sit behind your desk a lot of the time, that you need to get up, move regularly, at least once an hour, do a brisk walk up and down the corridor or wherever you go. And that you obviously have time to do a bit of stretching. Stretching for backs are really important. And then, of course, some of the other things that we talked about, you know, the good diet, water intake, we didn't really speak about, but water intake is amazing for the muscles and the movement, and making sure that that you help your body with the detoxification process as well. So that would be the main things. Movement is a big one for backs, stretching, or even yoga if you can do something like that. So those would be my top ones.
Absolutely, I agree. I've got a few notes, and it also says, say yes to yoga. So that's, of course, that movement and the stillness of it. Travel light, I found that one actually quite interesting, because us women and kids for that matter, you know, with our handbags, you got all your stuff in there, plus dads, plus the kids. And when you're looking again, you're walking lopsided, and that's putting such strain on your back. So either get rid of the bag or make it at least half the size of what it is, and only have your essentials in there. So don't strain your back that way. Plus breathe, just breathe and take it easy. It's unbelievable what that whole calming down and just centering yourself can actually do for us and for our inflammation. And of course, like you said, the water that detoxes us and washes out, helps to wash out the inflammation, which is really important. Well, Marna, we've run out of time. It's always such a joy to talk to you. And I just want to say thank you very much for your time and your knowledge. So with that, I would just like to tell everyone, if you've got any other questions you would like to have answered by either myself or Marna, please private message or direct message me. If you want assistance with any products relating to this discussion today, you can also contact me or Marna, private message or direct message us, and we are absolutely here to help you. We thank you for your time, and until next time, hasta la vista, babies. Bye, Marna.
Bye. Thank you.